Oh, thank goodness for that. Hello again. So sorry about that. All my internet in this house died. Like, everyone's internet just died. No idea why. So I'm still trying to... I had to go under my computer, unplug my router, re-plug it back in, turn it off at the wall over where the router is in the house. That didn't work. Came back, reset my computer, and I am back. So hello! Oh dear, that was something. That's what my anxiety was warning me about. Hopefully everything is here. Gonna quickly post back. I live again. Okay. Yes, my home router did die, Rurik. Okay. Whew. That was fun. I'm just gonna quickly fix my hair, because it looks ridiculous, and I wasn't expecting the camera to turn on straight away. So, 1 second. Not that I need this to hear you guys, because I can't hear you. I can just see you. Hopefully the stream quality is coming through okay. Hopefully... okay, my hair's just going to be like that for now. Stop it. There. Hello. I'm sure you can hear me if I shout at you like this. Yeah, I could hear that in my brain, actually. Well done. Thanks, my little notification. Why is it saying day 9? Going live with day 10, part 2. Technical issues. Issues are a bitch. Done. There we go. Oh, are evil. Not a bitch. I'm not allowed to say that. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright, brain. So, assuming everything is coming through clear enough, let me just double check. Yep. Oh, my thing isn't on. Oh well. Does Twitch care about swearing? I'm pretty sure they are fine with it as long as you mark your stream 18+. They don't give a crap about me swearing on stream, it's me swearing in my title descriptions. Which is fair enough, because anybody can read those. Whereas if you're a kid just scrolling through, you would read it. So that was fair. I'm home! Welcome back, Mally. Hello again. I'm so sorry about that. Oh man. Oh dear, oh dear. I am having a day. But with that, we now only have one more job that we can unlock at the moment, which is Conjurer. Oh. Also, the old messages are loading, so if there was something you needed, like if you said something to me and I haven't responded to it, it's because I don't see it yet. There's this glitch. Basically, the last message I have is, I'm not giving you my breaches, redolent rose, not again. So it's reloading, but it's taking a little bit, and I am not going to press it. Things happen. Technology is only cool if it works the first. Yeah. Let's go to New Gridania. Let's get the best message to crash the stream. What did you do? Rurik, what did you do? Nah, you didn't do anything. It was my house. Where we live is kind of in a dead spot, internet-wise. Oh, heckies, would you like me to reiterate what I said? Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. I have no idea what you said though, so if it was a question or something, I can't answer it until stream reloads it for me. And You read it out and the stream died. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. It's like it doesn't want anyone to know that Redolent Rose wants our breaches. Well, that's a Twitter. That is something I'm putting on Twitter, right there. This just in. FXIV does not want you to know. Oh, no, if I do that, they'll think I'm actually being serious. My internet does not want Redolent Rose to have my breaches. I say conspiracy. Say conspiracy. Clip that right there, that one, office. I'm assuming you meant officer. That one right there, officer. No, I don't think Final Fantasy would actually come. I don't think Square Enix would actually ever come after me. But I don't want them to think that they were actually, like, I don't want to even put out the implication of censoring me, because that would be a mess. And it's much funnier if I just say it's my internet, because no one knows who my internet is. No question. Here it is. If I were to tell you something I liked about you, it would either be your accent, personality, or your makeup. I've been trying to get into doing my own so my roomies don't have to do it for me. Thank you so much, Melly. That's really sweet. Thank you. You've kind of taken me on the back foot. That is so nice. Yeah, I used to suck at makeup. I'm still not convinced I'm good at makeup, but I took lessons from both my sisters, who are younger than me, and they're just like, yeah, no, do this. Embarrassing confession time, because that's the best kind of content. When I was in high school, I tried to do my makeup, except I didn't know really how makeup worked, so I put on foundation. I did not put any setting spray or any foundation powder, so what I had was just foundation smeared all over my face, and I thought that was great. It was a shade darker than my skin. It was awful. Every time I touched my face, it got on my fingers. I tried to go through the whole day, and it was just a mess. I've gotten remarkably better, but that was a really sweet message, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. My heart. Oh, okay, not gonna cry. Last one to join. Well met, adventurer. You come to Stillglade Fane, home of the Conjurers Guild. We conjurers harness the powers of earth, wind, and water that abound in nature, and thereby weave spells of healing and protection. And her heart grew 3 sizes bigger that day. Yeah. Wait, are you calling me a Grinch? Rude. Fair, but rude. Also, why is my camera doing that? Never. No, you're just implying it. You aren't all green? Oh, but yeah, you see, I went with the green today to highlight my inner Grinchness, apparently. Ever do we seek noble souls to initiate into our mysteries? Might you be such a soul, come to join the guild? Yes, you are most welcome. Try to be a wholesome little panda. In all honesty, it's easy being good to gravy. Melly, you're gonna make me cry, and I love you for it. You're such a little sunbeam, holy shit! I didn't expect anyone to be a sunbeam to me. Oh, I'm more used to Rurik giving me shit. But seriously, in all seriousness, thank you, Melly. I actually had a panic attack before stream. First, I don't know why, I just did. And so having you come in and you just be unprompted and nice really helps. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Also, I'm looking at the chat. That's why the camera is here. The chat is like literally just down here. Wow, you make it sound like I'm a terrible person. I care sometimes. Yes. Otherwise, we would not still be friends. I'd have ditched you years ago. Simple as that. Rurik, I'm just giving you shit. Oh no, I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, I am. I'm better now. It's just really random. I just, like, literally 10-15 minutes before stream, I couldn't breathe. I was freaking out, and they were, like, I was in a full body shake, and I couldn't figure out why. Because streaming does not frighten me anymore. Well, it kind of does, but it doesn't imbue that same sense of anxiety that it did at the start. So I couldn't figure out what it is. And so, yeah, having you come in here and be just really nice, that was really helpful, and it settled my nerves quite a lot. Thank you. Sure you are. Unfollow. Yeah, right. By the way, Rogue, you're not Heroin. No, he's not. He's actually one of my dear friends, and I highly value him as a person. But if I ever told that to him to his face, I would never hear the end of it. So, just between me and you, and Rogue's online persona. Whoops, I did not tell you to your face. I have told you over the internet. That is different. In person, I'm a sarcastic bitch, and we live with that. For clarification, Berg is a friend I've had since high school. So when's the next catch up? Sometime when I don't discuss it on stream. It'd have to be at least. Problem is, I have surgery on the 27th, so I will be restricted from a lot of stuff for the following month after that. So after a month, yeah, I can definitely meet up, but not before that. I kid, I just want to hear that. You will not hear that in person. Listen, I embrace the Sundari lifestyle, so what you would get is, your hair looks funny. And by that, I mean, you're looking good. That's it. The trial period on this friendship is over. You're both mine, and you're stuck with me now. I've never been happier. Thank you. Okay. Oh my god, I'm blushing so hard. You have no idea. Actually, you can't. See? Look at this. I have no foundation here, and I'm super pale. So if I'm red, it's because, one, it's either hot in my room, which it isn't, because it is 9 degrees where I am. Or two, I'm just overwhelmed. Thank you. But yes, Mally, you are hereby adopted into our friend group, and I will keep you forever, as long as you want to be here. But you might have cooties, Mally. I don't want that. Accept it. My dude, accept it. Then allow me to provide you with an overview of what it is to be a conjurer. Conjuring is the art of healing and purification. Its practitioners harness the power of nature that they might bring about the change in form of a spell. Primitive magic such as the one wrought by individuals known as mages, meaning those with the ability to manipulate ether, has existed since the dawn of time. It was not until some 5 centuries ago that conjuring emerged from this shapeless agglomeration of spells and charms, an event which led to the founding of Gridania. In those dark days, the elementals would not suffer a man's presence in the 12s wood. What about women's presence? Does that count? Actually, you know what? Are there any non-binaries? And before anyone makes the joke, if anybody here says nyanberries, I'm going to cry. Because I've legit been greeted like that. Guys, gals, and nyan. Like, N-Y-A-N berries. It was really fucking funny. It was said to me by Mikodi, the cat people in-game. Forcing our forebears to make their homes beneath the earth in the great subterranean city of Gilmora. But their desire to settle in the 12s would continue to burn fiercely. Time and again, they sought to curry the elementals' favor. Unlike men and other creatures bound in temples of flesh. What a way to say that. The elementals are beings of pure ether. Recognizing this, the mages of Eld reasoned that their talent for etheric manipulation might allow them to commune with these theretofore enigmatic entities. It took 5 long decades, but our forebears finally succeeded. Their reward, the elementals' permission to dwell in the 12s wood. So it was the nation of Gridania was born. Since that time, the elementals have taught us to live as one with nature, speaking to all Gridanians through the hearers, those mages who are unable to commune with them. And their intimacy with the elementals, the hearers would go on to attain greater mastery over the forces of natures. Thus did they conceive the art of conjuring. And that, my most attentive listener, is a brief history of conjuring. If you have a mind to walk our path, I wholeheartedly recommend you join our guild. It would be my pleasure to explain the initiation process to you. Pray speak again with me when you are ready. I don't know that there are any Enberries. Do Namazu have a gender? I don't think we saw any female Namazu. Honestly, I just assume that whatever pronouns people tell me are the gender they are. It's not up to me. But if you're referring to in-game, there are a few that do not have their gender stated, but use male or female models, so I don't know. Tomberries? Nah, Tomberries definitely have genders. There are king and queen Tomberries. It's been far too long since I played any. Okay. To be fair, king and queen might just be titles. I mean, I don't know if they are, but you can have female kings in certain games. It's a bit ridiculous, but yeah. Whatever. Honestly, it's none of my business. Is your mind made up? Are you ready to join the Conjurers Guild? Yes. That as well. I shall introduce you to our guildmaster, Brother Isumiyan. Isumiyan presides over the Conjurers Guild even as he serves the nation as hero. You will find him in the meditation area within. Go to him and make known your desire to join the guild. Looking at you, Altera, from the Face series. My girlfriend plays and is trying to get me into it, but I barely have time nowadays. That is fair. Yeah. Time is a bitch. I never have enough time for what I want to do, and yet I have too much time on my hands. I think it's because I have to measure my time in spoons. So, with chronic pain, I have a limited number of actions I can take each day. Think like Stardew Valley levels of swinging an axe makes me exhausted kind of things. So, making food or walking around my house, that takes spoons. And some days I only have a couple of those. So, it's probably where my rush is coming from. I will... Brea. Brea is busy with preparations for the coming ceremony and needs an adventurer to bring her scarlet oil. Might you perchance be comfortable around Violkin? If so, I have an urgent need of your assistance. You see, I was preparing for the forthcoming auguries when I found, to my great embarrassment, that we lacked the requisite quantity of scarlet oil. If it's not too much to ask, I would be most grateful if you could resupply us in time for the ceremony. Scarlet oil can be harvested from ladybugs, such as those found near the Bannock. 6 of the Violkin should yield the necessary amounts. Pray return to me as soon as you have it. I was actually thinking D&D and Pathfinder terms, but Stardew works too. Yeah. I was playing Stardew Valley earlier. I have it on my Switch. Greetings, adventurer. I am told you wish to become a conjurer of Stillgate fame. Hushman, I am Brother Isumiyan. I will tell you this right now. I have been misreading this man's name my entire game time. Because I read it as Iyumi-san. I am very wrong. Master of this guild, before you are formally accepted into our ranks, I would impart to you the principles of conjuring. Pray, attend me well. Also, he looks young. He is older than me. He's like ancient. Well, not ancient, but he's quite old. Conjuring is an arcane art that takes life and living for its domain. Its primary purpose is the salving of hurts and the granting of protection. Adventurers such as yourself often stand upon the front lines of battles. Owing to this, you are likely to find yourself in many situations wherein a capacity for healing would be advantageous. Mind you, there is more to conjuring than that. By harnessing the power of earth, wind, and water, conjurers are capable of weaving spells that wreak havoc. In terms of sheer destructive power, conjuring may pale in comparison to thaumaturgy, but its capacity to defend one against aggression more than compensates for its relative shortcoming. I have dyslexia and completely understand. Thank you. I'm actually really curious how Isumi and his siblings' naming schemes work, because they have similarities but also follow different patterns. Oh, yeah. Maybe it's a gender thing? We'll find out. In mastering healing and purification, not only will you be able to mend wounds, purge afflictions, you will also be able to breathe life back into the fallen. More than simply healers, yet not true dealers of destruction. Conjurers realize their full potential when they employ their powers in support of others. This, my dear adventurer, is what it means to be one of us. Mayhap that was too much to grasp upon a single hearing, but worry not, for the meaning of my words will become clear to you in due time. Aye, you will come to understand that conjuring is not the sole province of the conjurer. Should you wish to walk our path, I must needs ask that you solemnly vow to embrace nature, to heed the will of the elementals and the 12s would alike. Can you make this vow? Yes. I knew your answer ere your lips had parted, yet I am no less pleased to hear it. Also, this guy is just going. By the power vested in me, I hereby name you a member of the Conjurers Guild. If you would be so kind as to lend me your hunting log, I shall add to it the names of creatures as would propose a suitable challenge to a conjurer. And to mark this momentous occasion, I present to you this cane. Though it may be old and weathered, it will serve you well as you take your first steps upon the path of conjurer. Take up your cane, Mirth, and present yourself to me once more. I will assign you your first task as the conjurer of Stillglade Fane. He's actually a 1,000-year-old dragon, except hundreds of years and an elf. No, he's a dragon. Pajal. At least, I think so. That's what I remember. I might be wrong. I will fix that, don't worry. So I main White Mage on my main account. I have a level 90 White Mage. So, White Mage is the easiest class for me to play. The part of Conjurer becomes you, Lilith. Without further ado, I shall assign you your first task as a Conjurer of Stillglade Fane. Just beyond the city gates, you will encounter squirrels, ladybugs, and funguas. I would have you slay 3 of each. Lest you wonder how I can so coolly order the taking of a life, know that the things were not as they once were. As a consequence of the calamity, and I may add, through no fault of their own, these creatures have become a burden to the Twelveswood, a burden it cannot well bear. As a conjurer, it is your duty to carry out the will of the forest, and by employing your powers, in doing so you will become to learn something of your art. Go now, Lilith, and perform your first task in the name of the elementals. I thought Pajal was just cursed by the elementals, not actually Dragonkin, but I could be wrong. I know Ura are Dragonkin. I know Pajal are the closest to the elementals, but I don't know too much about their story, to be honest. I'm pretty sure they're dragon, but I'm not entirely sure. I leveled Conjurer to 30 just for the reward only they get. Yeah, same. No, oh. Yeah. What was I saying? I leveled... Yeah, White Mage has been which is what the Conjurer turns into with their Soul Crystal. White Mage is my main, so I can run White Mage in my sleep. I'm currently learning Sage and Tank. Speaking of Tank, you guys have listened to me plather on for quite a bit. Shall we see... Oh yeah, like my outfit. Shall we see if there is a guild test we can do? Let's go, my friends. Incense and sensibility. Yeah. Ringing in my ears. Sorry. Well, you guys couldn't hear it. At least I hope you couldn't. Got our best job. I really, really liked the Arcanist until they changed it. I was a big fan of the way it was kind of built up. While we're here, I'm going to switch to Conjurer. Yeah, yeah, DOTs and Bane. That's kind of my thing. I really enjoyed it. So I really enjoyed the Summoner class that it turned into because of that. Because it felt like I was doing a lot on the field. It felt like I was contributing a lot. Whereas, just got done with looking at the socials you have available info. Molly, thank you! I don't have anything up on my Instagram yet, but I'm going to, and I'm going to start uploading my YouTube stuff, but then this weird verification error happened, so I'm just fixing that. I had to get in contact with support, and they're like, oh yeah, no, this happens, this is how you fix it, it's just gonna take a couple of days. Yeah, I really, really liked the lore of the Summoner, I really liked all of that, and the Scholar, and then they kind of nerfed it, and it's less fun for me to play now, so. Yeah, let's switch to Conjurer, real quick. Oh, I know, no pressure or rush, do what you gotta do. Ali, you're so lovely. Oh! How can I pretend to be a callous bitch if you're going to be this lovely to me? Like, I can't pretend to be a Grinch if you're going to be an amazing human being. The Conjurer family seeks an assistant for a frantically busy student. Youth hair, adventurer, yes? Good, I have a task for you. Take yourself over to the Conjurer's Guild and speak with my student, Freya. She has her hands full preparing for the auguries and would likely welcome your assistance. In her excitement at becoming a conjurer, I fear my young disciple is pushing herself beyond the limits of her endurance. Enthusiasm is all well and good, but it would not do to have an initiate collapse from exhaustion. And me. Scholar story was really good though. Summoner was a bit forgetful for me. Fair. Pretend. It's a superpower, Lobby. You were just such a nice person. And I don't know how to deal with that. I appreciate it. But yes, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And my hair is now giving me trouble. Gosh, dang it. I used to have hair all the way down my back. Like, it was so long because of COVID. I hadn't had a haircut before COVID for like 6 months. Because I was like, yeah, I wasn't going anywhere, whatever. And then COVID happened, and then it wasn't safe because both my dad and I have fucked up immune system. So my dad has cancer, stage 4. He's okay for the moment, but his immune system is pretty much fucked. My chronic pain has made me pretty much a recluse, so I've not been able to go out, and because of the constant stress of this illness, because of a lot of other factors, my immune system is pretty much trash. So COVID was quite terrifying for us. But yeah, so I didn't have a haircut for like until I think the start of this year, actually. Warrior. Yes, let's go. You should have. I will put pictures of my hair in like the length of it, because the poor hairdresser's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, please." Tank stance. Oh, thanks, you guys. Yeah, are you sure? And I'm like, yes. He's like, it's a lot of hair. I know. Get rid of it. So she did. It went from being basically hip length hair to up above my shoulders, which was quite a change, and I really enjoyed that it happened. Certainly less heavy. I had been growing mine for 2 years prior to COVID, and the pandemic helped me grow mine out. It's halfway down my back now. Nice! party. My accommodation goes to Lucius. Actually, Bron, because Bron is the one talking to me in chat. Very, very cool. My hair is too thin to do that. You might see it. Yeah, it's very thin. Again, because of illness. So having it long, which just ages me like 20 years. Whereas I keep mine cropped and short, annoys me once it goes to that. That's fair. Long hair can be very annoying. And we live in Australia. Like, you don't want long hair a lot of the time here. I want my hair that long to make it easier for headbanging to matter. That is something I did not consider. I never did that. Not for any reason other than I was too sore to do that for a lot of the time, and as a teenager I was into Evanescence. Which I could headbang to, but people would look at me weird, and I was very concerned about that as a child. Yes, I am Rhea, but I'm also awfully... Oh, you say Lady Melanie asked you to assist me. In that case, I suppose you might lend a hand, especially as mine appears to be shaking, though only very slightly. Not that it's anything to be worried about. Be a nervous energy. I would be exceedingly grateful if you would take this Azema rose oil and refill the censers. There are two that require attention. Please have a care not to disturb the conjurers amid their meditations. You must be quiet and as unobtrusive as possible. I'm from Hawaii. I completely understand. Yeah. I don't know why I did that, I'm sorry. Long hair is just asking for insects and arachnids to sneak around in and awesome. You'd think that, but they don't like it all that much. They think it's spider webs. And other spiders don't like getting caught in spider webs. Funnily enough. And drop bears. Can't forget drop bears. Actually, funny story. So, in this D&D game that a friend of mine is running that I play in, one of our players had drop bears in his backstory. And it was the funniest thing I've ever heard. Because the way it was set up was... no need to apologize. That was... Oh, thank you. The way it was set up was... his wife was killed by a marauder gang, basically. Or at least that's what we were led to believe. And then when he asked around about it, he was told it was the drop bears. And we're like, oh, okay, it's a fake one. Turns out there was actually a group in this DM's homebrew world, called the drop bears that wore upside down bear skins and dropped out of trees to attack people. And I'm just like, I cannot cope with the fact that drop bears are real in this universe. Do you know how to deal with drop bears, Mally? Vegemite behind the ears works every time as a repellent. Rurik, please don't make me say things, because as an Australian I have to go along with you, but Mally's been really nice to me. What do you mean, Sparrow? They're real in Oz too. My thanks, I must admit to being rather impressed how faithfully you followed my instructions. I had always considered adventurers to be uncouth and rowdy, but I see you're capable of courtesy as well. Lady Melanie has a fine eye for character. You should feel honoured that she chose you for the task. I've changed that voice a lot. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll let you in on a national secret here, Mally. As an Australian, we have this, I would like to say genetic, because it has happened with people I have never met, never set the same room in before, but if I hear, if I as an Australian am telling somebody about something as an Australian, then if it's ridiculous, if it is, personal favorite is drop bears and hoop snakes, you will get any Australian in the vicinity will back you up. It is ridiculous. It is so quick. It is like, oh yeah, my mate got taken out by one of those. Nasty buggers they are. Tell him about the teeth. Tell him about the teeth. So I have no clue what Vegemite actually is. Vegemite is a basically a yeast extract from beer, I think. Beer extract. I don't know. What I do know is that it's like the equivalent of Marmite. Yeah, it's beer in a spread. You know, hoop snakes is really uncommon for me. I ran into a lot of people that were telling the hoop snake story. I used to do it on Omegle all the time. Hoop snakes, the best part about this is you tell people about hoop snakes and drop bears, and then you tell them about cassowaries. And because cassowaries are real, they're real life murder birds, you can show them pictures, which immediately lends credits to everything you said before. So you don't have to show pictures. Now, riding to work in kangaroo pouches on the other, that would be so messy. And gross. Speaking though, Semaine. Stop right there! Not another step! Oh, I apologize if I've startled you, but please be careful. The ground here is covered in rose hips. You see, my seed pouch had grown so threadbare that it finally split open. Unbeknownst to myself, I've been scattering Azema rose hips all along this road. Good madam, if you would help me gather them, I'd be ever so grateful. Shit, cassowaries are terrifying creatures, and their eggs are huge and bright green. Slight aversion to be huge, shortly. The rose hips should be lying on the road between here and the Great Lone Growing. Remember to tread lightly lest you crush them underfoot. But yeah, so Mally, if you're talking to an Australian and they tell you stuff that sounds a bit ridiculous, they will, cassowary sounds nummy. I've had ostrich. Ostrich is weird. I found it very gamey, but I didn't like it all that much. Cassowary is not a bird you eat. It is a bird that kills you. They are the meanest son of a bitch I've ever seen. They have fucking, like, terrifying faces. And they're huge. Like, yeah, cassowaries can kill people. Have killed people. They are just chaos incarnate. Good madam, pray tell me you've recovered all the rose hips and abandoned not a one to a traveller's boot. Look up pictures of them. Blessings be upon you. I feared this path would be lined with roses next year. Not that such a wondrous sight would be wholly objectionable, but Izema roses are ill-suited to this location. As a botanist, it's my responsibility to see Gridania's plants grow and thrive in the most ideal conditions. A place for every seed, and a seed in its place, you might say. It was most gracious of you to aid me in my time of need. I pray the elementals extend you the same kindness. You're welcome. Also, this is why sometimes I leave these quests to do later when I have a new class, because they give me such little things for them. Boing! Hello, Ethelred. God damn it! Another adventurer? You're like flies on muck. Whatever Gridania did to deserve such a plague, I don't know. Sigh. Sigh. Say it out loud. Disappointed. Sorry. I suppose times are changing and they keep telling me I should perhaps you might God help me. Just take this Izema rose to Waldo's still great fame, will you? Well, what are you still standing here for? Go and deliver the bloody rose. Look, mate, just because you can't get laid is not my business. Ah, yes, the good old Gridanian xenophobia. Yeah. They get I hope. Let's pop over to the Conjurer's Guild. Ah. Interesting. Waldo. Welcome, adventurer, to the Conjurer's Guild. Here we commune with the elementals and heed their guidance. Yet I must confess, the elementals did not whisper over your coming. Here, I have a flower. Enjoy. I'm learning so much. Yeah. It is a national secret, however, so I am trusting you to use this knowledge for good. And if you hear an Australian start telling bullshit stories, join them and help them. We did indeed request an Izema rose from Eldoret, but that you should bring it to us instead means that something wonderful has happened. Eldoret has long held a grudge against the many adventurers who have passed through Gardania's gates, whose beloved flowers are renowned for their beauty, you see, and were once so highly coveted by Uldan collectors that they were picked nigh to extinction by fortune-seeking foreigners. Yet if it is peace we desire, we must all learn to look beyond mistrust born of the past and overcome our prejudices. So has the elder Seedseer taught us, and so do we live. I doubt it was easy for Ethelred to trust this Izema rose to you. When he hears we have received it, he will come to know that not all outsiders are deserving of scorn. Truly, it was by the will of the elementals that you came to us this day. Please accept this as a token of our gratitude. Yeah. Nice. Level 2. Now that you have been inducted, it is your role to continue the secret and support spreading the word of Dropbears and the dangers to the world. Should we tell them about the laser shafts? No. That is the next tier of secret. So what's interesting to me is that we hear is that everything there tries to kill you. No, that's pretty true. Although it's a lot more calmer than you think. It's not like we go outside and we're being attacked unless it's swooping season. Magpies. So magpies are like, you know what magpies are, never mind. Well, I assume you do. They've got very sharp beaks, and they tend to nest near, like in tall trees near populated areas, because of course they do. But when they enter like their breedings, yeah, magpies are mostly Australian, but I think crows are raised. Yeah. When they enter breeding season, it's called swooping season because they are hugely territorial of their nests. And this is not bullshit, you can look this up. So people would wear helmets with like faces on the back of it to stop the bird swooping in. So we're not constantly being attacked by things, but there are a lot of things here that if we're not careful with them could do us a lot of harm. Oh god, swooping season dealt with that in Canada. Yeah, it's horrid, isn't it? During swooping season, parks and such in cities are occasionally closed up until the magpie can be migrated. Yeah, because they can do a lot of damage. Heresy, I struggled to cross my doorstep without being attacked by everything. Hello, Tim. The most dangerous things that most people will have to deal with are snakes and spiders, I think. Because a lot of the spiders in Australia that are just around everywhere are quite venomous or quite poisonous. Estate. Greetings, traveler. Come to see Minketa's famed. I'm pleased to have you. I am Estate, caretaker of this fine centerpiece of Gordanian culture, and I fear I must needs trouble you for your assistance. You see, it's not only well-meaning women like yourself who are drawn to this place. The sylphs often visit it in the dead of night, long after our citizens have gone to bed. We have no particular objection to their presence, and they seem grateful for the accommodation, so much so, in fact, that last night they left us a token of their appreciation in the form of vegetables. A lot of vegetables. The generosity is more than welcome, of course, but the sheer quantity of the things makes gathering them something of a chore, and it's not as if you don't have enough to do already. In short, I'd be most grateful for any help you could give me. Sure thing. Do you happen to have a dog that's trying to keep you home? In Hawaii, you have to block the sun. There. Yes. The sun and I are not on good terms. Because I don't tan, I just burn. And I go really red, and then I peel and blister, and then I go back to being pale. And if you're in the city, it's mostly spiders, so as long as you leave the spiders alone, you will be fine. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Most spiders do not give a shit about humans. There are a few that you need to avoid, but most of them will avoid you. So, yes, Australia is dangerous, but if you're careful and clever a lot of the time and don't aggravate animals that you don't need to, you'll be fine. Well done, friend. Mikato herself would sing you praise. She knew well the power of art, and how it could strengthen the soul of a nation, and preserve its history for future generations. This amphitheatre was her greatest gift to Gridania, and it was her wish that all folk use it freely, not only for performances and festivals, but as a place to share memories, and make new ones. I wonder if the sylphs come here to do just that. That said, I do wish they would find other ways to express their gratitude. We have no need of vegetables here, but mayhap the Carline Canopy can make use of them. Anyway, thanks be to the elementals for bringing you here today. Out in the more rural regions, there are snakes and frogs, and it's well enough. No, yeah, that's very uncomfortable, but yes. That and stay away from jellyfish. It's easy because they show up 3 days after the full moon and only stay for a week. That is cool, though. It's probably not cool. That's probably a bad thing. But that is that. I mean, I assume it would be locked with the tides, so when you have a particularly strong gravitational pull from the moon, it brings that particular kind of shoal to shore. But you could 100% see why the moon would be something that's like feared in ancient times, because they didn't know it did that kind of stuff, and it would have these real world effects, like full moon madness that people think is a thing. You'd think it is, but like there's nothing statistically that would say it. Anyway, I'm just blathering. Blue ring jellyfish. The worst blue ring octopus, not jellyfish. Yeah. There are a few dangerous jellyfish though. Blue bottles. The blue bottle jellyfish are fucking awful. Dimmersand has need of an adventurer to deliver a message. You there, adventurer. Could you deliver a message for me? My superior Millicent is stationed outside the Atelier Fenway. She's doubtless busy, but I'm past you to be relieved. Long past you, to be told. However, I simply can't abandon my post. Speak to her for me, would you? But choose your words wisely, she has a bit of a temper. Oh goodness, that octopus was designed by the devil. Yes. Honestly, the worst thing about it is it looks so pretty and I want to touch it. And I know that would be the last thing I ever did. What's all this about? Dumasand says he needs his break. The nerve of that snivelling little shite crying for relief at a time like this. Has he already forgotten how short-handed we are since that business with the exile the other day? And sending a bloody unknown adventurer to do his bleating, no less. That self-serving sod thinks only of his own woes, rubbing his sore soles while welcoming all manner of gill-grabbing adventurers into our holy wood. Useless bloody fool! Makes my blood boil, does. It's not you I should be giving a piece of my mind to. You seem a decent enough sort, considering. Still, understand that it's our duty to keep an eye on every stranger that passes through these parts. Any rate, I appreciate you lending an ear to my subordinate, damn fool that he is. Go on then, and stay out of trouble. Children picking up dead ones is not uncommon. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that as a problem. Right? It's so pretty and vibrant, and I know that's, posthumous? There's a word for it. Bright, colourful things to denote poison, to warn off predators. But for me, it's just like, look, I want to touch it. I have the same problem with the poisonous tree frogs. The day I saw my local beach had blue bottle signs was the day I decided not to use it. Yes, completely fair. Ooh, shiny. Yeah. Let's be fair, we're just crows with socio-religious constructs. We really are. Well, I am. I might have to be a higher level, so let's be my warrior, shall we? Aye, the ferry dock to the base of the hill will carry you across the lake to the east route. Once you're ashore, head due east, and you should find the horse and hut without much trouble. Oh jeez, it's 2 a.m. Oof. I should sleep. I'm gonna leave you alert and keep the stream running so I can fall asleep to you talking. That is more than okay. I appreciate it, the fact that you would be comfortable just listening to me natter on while you're trying to sleep. That is really nice. Sleep well. I hope you get the good snoozles. And thank you so much for coming in and for all your kind words. All Aussies know that come to Australia might accidentally get killed. So, right, I don't actually. I know, I'm a bad Aussie, but... You, Nasrin? Never. The squirrels are dealt with then. Very good. I am pleased to see you've proven yourself useful. What's that? You wonder what happens to adventurers who fail to complete such trifling tasks. Why, such sluggards soon find and there is no place for them within the city. And where they end up after leaving Gridania? Well, you should hear the truth of that, all of. Why are you being weird? Why are you being weird? Lancer, I believe. Yeah, we're in Lancer. Well, see ya. Anytime. By the way, you have no idea how soothing your voice is. Aww. Sally. Really, thank you so much. Like I said, today has been quite a anxiety provoking day, so you just being this nice and saying nice things about all the things that I'm really insecure about is helping. And it makes me feel very good, but I'm also now turning so red. Alright, Yuane. You are really offsetting my harshness. I have no comment. So you are back. I trust you have learned something of the essence of our art. A lancer learns best when he is doing. Each thrust making him stronger. Such things as strategy and technique will come in time. And never forget courage. Without it, you cannot hope to realize your potential. Your look betrays no hint of doubt. That is well. It is clear you see the truth in my words. That will be all for present. Now take up your weapon, sally forth, and cut a path for yourself. When we next meet, I would hope to see you stronger for your time out in the world. Hey! Guildmaster Yuane would teach you the meaning of courage. Ah, you have returned. I take it from your presence that you have gained a measure of familiarity with your weapon. Good. You are ready to begin the next phase of your training. You will recall my telling you that it takes no small amount of courage to be a lancer. Now, in general terms, courage is the strength to do something which one finds unnerving. However, a lancer's notion of courage is not so simple. Having first drawn a distinction between courage and recklessness, he then divides the former into two aspects. I would have you learn each with a spear in hand. The first is composure. When outnumbered in battle, a lancer may lose his composure and succumb to panic. Should this happen, all of his training will swiftly flee his mind, and he will struggle to overcome opponents whom he would have ordinarily bested with ease. He will, in short, contribute to his own defeat. If you wish to become a lancer in suit, you must learn to maintain your composure at all times. Do this, and you will be able to call upon every ounce of your strength and skill when it matters most. And so your first task. The riverbanks of the Central Shroud are home to vilekin, known as Yarzans. Fiercely territorial, the creatures will attack anyone who strays too close, making the bane of fisherfolk. They typically fall upon their prey en masse, barring all avenues of escape before closing in for the kill. What must go through the mind of their victim in that is panic, despair. Be sure to tell me of your return. Needless to say, I would have you brave such an encounter. Take this sack of decidedly noisome bait and use it to lure the ever-ravenous creatures out of their nest. It may be that only one curious Yarzan appears, but what if 2 or 3 follow the scent? Let us see how you fare then. Go now, my young lancer, and learn what it means to fight with composure. That's nice. Here, let's go get you killed. We're going to pop over to the Archers Guild, pick up the next quest there. Where is the Archers Guild? I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go into New Granania so I could go here. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, I hope everyone's still doing well. I'm glad everything is still smooth on my end. I've been watching my CPU and my frames like a freaking hawk. Oh, sweet energy drinks. Welcome back, Lilith. It would seem you have successfully completed the trial. You have proven yourself worthy of a place within these halls. It is with pleasure that I name you an archer of the guild. As fellows of the path, let us strive together for greater mastery of our art. Now, though you may be a member of the Archers Guild, know that your seniors will not coddle you with personal attention. It is up to you to seek out the experiences you need to grow as an archer. By way of a first step, I encourage you to practice proper technique. Loose arrow after arrow, paying close attention to form until the movement becomes second nature. When drawing your bowstring has become as natural to you as drawing breath, and the world seems clearer when viewed down the shaft of an arrow, return to me. Go well, my young apprentice. Good morrow to you, Lilith. I felt it was about time you returned. Have you grown more accustomed to the bow? Before we go any further, I wish to ensure that you've grasped the fundamentals of archery. Tell me, Lilith, do you truly understand what it means to see clearly? Clearly not, because I fucked up that sentence. To see clearly is not merely to look, it is to observe with intent. Fail to do this, and no amount of talent with a bow will avail you. An archer must remain vigilant for any trace of his target, overlooking not the smallest detail lest it prove crucial to the realization of his purpose. He must, in short, see clearly. The coming task will test your powers of observation. A number of tasks have been hidden throughout the city. I would have you seek out and destroy them. Each will fall easily to your heavy shot technique. When you've completed the task, return to me and we will continue. I always forget where these are. Do you truly understand what it means to see clearly? Well, I wear glasses, so no. Oh, there's another one around here, but where? Oh, it's up. It's up. Yeah. I mean, technically I should be wearing glasses to read, but I keep forgetting. As you can see, I am level 13, despite the fact I'm doing a level 5 quest, and that is because I just went and did hunting log quests. Not quests, I just went and filled up the hunting log. So for the archer I did just level 1. For the lancer, oh, I think I focused mostly on the arcanist. Yeah, I did. Focused on the Arcanist, because I wasn't getting any dungeons with them. I was really annoyed. Where are you, my friend? There you are. Don't judge me. Down this way. But yeah, it's been a bit weird. Sorry about the quiet there. Today has just been a day. Hey, there was another one over there. I saw it. I feel like they just let me off. Let me off easy. That's rude. Ooh. DPS as a needed role? What is this? Impossible. Ridiculous, I say. Unheard of. This is weird. I got into a guild test as a TPS. I know statistically it has to happen. Oh, we're back here. But yeah. Not the best tank, but I can't give shit because I'm not better. I like his outfit though. Zero trancing. Wonder. No. It wouldn't. So yeah, my plan for the rest of this kind of stream is to do questing, to, you know, do class stuff, maybe do a couple of dungeons if I can get around to it. Maybe even some PvP. I would like to unlock Scholar and Scholar and Summoner, I think. That's kind of my goal for today. So if you guys have some preferences on whether you would like me to go do, you know, PvP or something, I can do that. But honestly, it's a chill day. I'm trying to be chill anyway. Not very good at it. Sorry, I'm getting buzzed by something. Oh. There we go. It's all good. Everything's fine. Ah yes, I am the storm puppy. Because, you know. Lucienne! Oh, I should probably have this buff up as well. Lucienne! Hi. Hi. I found them. Ah, you have returned. I trust you begin to comprehend the crucial importance of seeing clearly. The next trial will test your powers of observation and battle. Travel to the North Shroud, and there put down 8 microtubes and 8 oppos. In contrast to the inanimate and wholly unthreatening targets of the previous trial, these creatures may be relied upon to move around and fight back. Nor are these the only difference. Being comparatively numerous, microtubes and oppos are anything but difficult to find, and yet you may be assured that this task will test your powers of observation, albeit in a different matter. This time, you will need to evaluate the abilities of your opponent. In so doing, you will learn, amongst other things, that microtubes produce a poison that can quickly sap one's strength, while oppos, like archers, possess the advantage of range. Knowing their strengths, how will you go about mitigating? Stick my chocobo on them. If you commence your attack before identifying an effective strategy, you will soon be made to regret your folly. But if you take the time to observe your targets from afar, you will surely glean the knowledge necessary to defeat them. I look forward to hearing of your success, Lila. Thank you. Okay. What to do? What to do? Let me just quickly press this, double check things here. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Huh. Let's see. Arcanist. Or should we do story stuff? Let's go do some story stuff, yeah. At the very least, we'll unlock that bit. Oh, pardon me. Sweet bloom here. It's so weird to me that this is technically my 10th day streaming, you know? I mean, I've learned a lot already, and I'm gonna keep learning stuff. I'm gonna repair my gear while I'm here. But it's so weird, because the person I was at the start of this wouldn't have dreamed of being comfortable in front of the camera. I'm still not technically comfortable, but wouldn't have dreamed of being anywhere close to comfortable here, and would have had a breakdown every day before doing it, and would have eventually talked herself out of it. But I haven't. I'm doing... I hesitate to say well, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm noticing that I wish I could do better. But honestly, I'm having fun. And I get to meet and talk with all of you guys. You know? That's the cool thing. That's what I like. I mean, do I eventually want to make money off this? Yeah, of course I do. It would be the best, because it means that I don't have to try and work with a chronic condition. You know, it would make my life easier. But I think the thing is, if I knew today for certain I would not make any money streaming, ever, if I knew that for certain right now, I would still do it. So, a little bit of food for thought, I guess. For clarity, I used to hate public speaking. Like, I still do, but I used to hate it so much that I would have severe panic attacks before having to do presentations in class. And when I was asked to do, you know, events for the university I was in, because I was part of a unique program, it was something I wanted to do, but it terrified me. So to think I could have come from that and be comfortable doing this and being here and talking to people, even though I am sitting in my room, staring at a camera and playing a game, but I'm talking to people as well. It's just cool. I'm gonna stop. We've all the chocobos keepers say the same thing, by the way, so I'm not gonna bother reading them. Hail, adventurer! I am Kina Lega, a guild lead representative for the Adventurers Guild. If it is work you seek, the good folk who reside in the vicinity of the Hawthorne Hut have entrusted me with a multitude of tasks that I am eager to assign to stalwart heroes. Stalwart ones, I say. Many of these lead quests are not for the faint of heart or frail of body. Before I send you marching into the wilderness, I must see what manner of adventurer has arrived on my doorstep, so to speak. Let's start you on a trial, Guild Lead, shall we? How does this one suit you? A young sylph has wandered into Amosrax's spire, tired and frightened. The wood whalers on duty at the outpost have provided the wayward sapling with water and shelter, but are afraid they will not be able to care for the child much longer. They seek a volunteer to escort the sylph to Little Solace. Excellent. You need merely beckons the sylph to help lead her to her destination. Yeah. We will, don't worry. That's what I was waiting for. Hello! Hi, Stephanie, welcome on in. Thank you for the welcome. I am technically new, I guess. Oh, I fucked this up entirely. This is not a good showing, I'm better at this. Welcome on in, how are you doing? Yeah, Final Fantasy, I am just in love with this game. Honestly, I am. I just suck at being a tank. I main a healer most of the time, but I am trying because it is something I want to improve about myself. There we go. I forgot to do the player commendation. Anyway. Yeah, so my goal with this stream is to, well, not this singular stream, but streaming in general, is to eventually 100% Final Fantasy. It's great fun. I have gotten, on my main, I have just gotten up to the end of Stormblood, but we're going through this almost as if, with no spoilers, so going blind, I guess. That's cool. I remember how quickly I fell in love with the game as well. Love seeing new sprouts going through the same. It is so nice, and I just, like, I spend disproportionate amount of time just talking about how cool this game is. Like, okay, yes, the story, everything in that is so good, and I could talk about that for fucking days. But look at this environment. Someone had to build this. Someone had to go to all the effort to make these things, to make the textures. And yes, some of the textures could be improved, but it's an MMO. You know? What other MMO looks like this? Ooh, gotcha. So it's a bit of a retelling for now, but still plenty of new stuff ahead too. Yeah. So yeah, we're currently in A Realm Reborn, with my character, Lilith the Seeker. She is currently a paladin, and is about to talk with Amelie. Indeed, I am Amelie of the Twin Adder. I understand you're here to learn the sylphs, yet? For all their whimsy, they are a wary lot, particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. Earn their trust, however, and they're as friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all, no? Would you know more? You do well to speak with the master of this hut, Rolf. He's forgotten more about the sylphs than I'll ever know. Hello! Rolf! My man! Buddy! Rolf Hawthorne, patriarch of the beekeeping Hawthorne family, is said to be well versed in sylphic customs. Come to learn a thing or two about the sylphs, have ya? I'll tell you one thing, they're a peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. They're, beg pardon, friend. My memory's just not what it used to be. I've seen so much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all a clutter in my noggin now. Though I've shared my stories with those around the hut before. You might have more luck with them. Sure! Also, I do apologize for the voices. I am trying to be a better DM, so I am practicing my voices on camera. The sylphs. Yes, Father's told me his stories plenty of times. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost alien to our own. You do best not to underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest your face end up a mess of glyphs, squiggles, and chocobo scratches. Smart, thank you. So, if you don't mind, and you completely don't have to. I tried to voice act some of Heavenswood, but I made all the Ellison sound like they were from the American South. Well, go with it. Yeah, as I get through this, I will eventually, like, as the stream goes on, there is one accent I kind of default to when my throat gets tired, and if you stick around, you will see it. But yeah, if you'd like, tell me a little about yourself. But if you don't, I am perfectly happy to keep nattering on. We're going to talk to Florimond, the replacement color. Florimond seeks a capable adventurer to cull vermin in his stead. You have the look of one who's seen more than a fair share of danger. I am Florimond. A century of Jocelyn's spire, though you would be forgiven for imagining me a century of this hut, so seldom have I left it in recent days. I sustained an injury, you see, and have been out of commission for some time. Anyway, my wood whaler comrades are about to commence a culling operation in the bramble patch, and the thought of them marching into the jaws of danger while I languish here like a coddled babe is frankly too much to bear. I realize this is sudden, but might I trouble you to take part in the operation in my stead? If you would do me this favour, seek out Captain Anoud at Jocelyn's Spire. He will tell you all you need to know. Okay. Sure thing. Mon. Hello, Mon. The sylphs. Invaried tricksters and troublemakers, that's what they are. One day they're drawing marble faces on our masks, and the next they're sending our young sentries falling to the bottom of the ravine. Tell them to stop, and they just laugh at you. Rolf claims they harbour no ill will, but I dare say such pranks are no laughing matter. That sounds dangerous, doesn't it? Lazette. The quickest way to a quiver woman's heart might be through her stomach, but don't even think of trying to foist your foodstuffs on a sylph. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun, or so Rolf once told me. Interesting. Very interesting. Of of course, hearing your stories, well, my stories, has brought the memories flooding back to me. I feel like dancing. Yes, nothing brings people together quite like the little toe tapping. A sylph told me long ago that dancing is time-honored greeting amongst their kind. You do well to remember this. It may just help win the favor of our forest friends. Golly. Oh, still here. Great. There's one more thing you should know about sylphs. They don't take kindly to guests who show up empty-handed. To earn their trust, you do well to bring along a, what was it again? And my wife Rosa and I were just speaking of the matter not days ago. Forgive me, friends. Speak to Rosa at the comb. Her memory should prove more reliable than my own. Okay. Isabel. You are an adventurer, are you not? Ah, you have the same air about you as father. He used to be an adventurer like you, though he is long since retired, and now finds pleasure in welcoming in travellers to this humbler hut. We also serve hot meals to the brave men and women who protect our borders, a small token of appreciation for their efforts. Speaking of which, our meat stocks are running perilously low again, and I must head into the bramble patch to trap some game. Sorry to cut short our conversation, but duty calls, and no one else is going to. Oh, I do hate to impose. But might I trouble you to take this box of hunting tools and lay the traps in my stead? It is for a good cause. As I mentioned, there are only so many hours in the day, you understand, and every bell I spend on this task would be a bell spent neglecting another. Ah yes, the warrior light. Well, she will be. Famed errand girl. Still, I mean, look at this place. I mean, look at the fire. They didn't have to do that. Gosh, I read everything in this game. It's ridiculous. Fear or not, a century at Jocelyn's Spire would delegate some of his duties to an eager adventurer. Those frightful snouts, tusks like onto spears and the squealing. That dreadful squealing, a death hymn that haunts my dreams each night. Why, oh why did I ever leave home to come here? Hail, adventurer. Your sharp-eyed mien tells me you're keen to prove yourself and to your good fortune of a menial task ideal for one of your fair to middling abilities. Wild boars plagued the bramble patch, and it's about time someone called the hold. Heard. Well, hop to it now. Hello. Renewed. What brings you here, adventurer? Florimon's replacement, you say? Aren't you aware of the risks? Aye, well, you do seem a capable sort. Florimon's task was to be the slaying of 6 black bats in the bramble patch. I take it you will seize this. Very well, I wish you the best of luck. That's not a door, brain. Okay. Gonna take a quick 5-minute break while I go and refill my drink. Because otherwise I will ruin my throat. So I will be right back. And I hope to see you all there. needed to because otherwise I would be sick. So hello. My mic is on? Yes, lovely. There's a middling. Matt, do you know how many lady beetles I have defeated? I have defeated a god. And I'm pretty sure one day I will defeat the god of ladybugs. Boing! So I hope you're all doing well. Which quest is that? Swinophobia. No. Meat of the matter? Meat of the matter. Can't wait to unlock the Blue Mage. Honestly, that would be so fun. But yeah, thank you all for putting up with me just being gone for a little bit. I literally had to just go walk out to my fridge. Yeah, so my plan tonight is to go for another 5 hours. Well, not another 5 hours, to go for 5 hours in stream. And since we were at about 48 minutes or so last stream, I think, my plan is to run until about 10ish, so a good couple hours yet. But yeah, I think 5 hours is a good time. It just depends on if I get exhausted midway through. Or if my mic keeps fucking up again. I'm hoping that the buzzing isn't the same. I've tried to fix it, but it's hard to do that. Relax, Sparrows. Streamers I watch regularly take breaks for 10 to 20 minutes after an hour or two of gameplay, and they come back with some like fan art and such as before getting back to their games. Huh. How cool would it be if I had fan art to show? Oh my... Sorry. Sorry. But I appreciate the patience, thank you. Come here. Repay it by killing this bat. Okay. Have I got any dungeons that I haven't done? Ah, I've got a few. For example, the two biggest ones I watched has cross-stream for any fan art that one of his mods picks up and puts in a queue for him. Huh. That would be really cool though. But could you imagine me ever being big enough for fan art? I mean, I'm big enough. No, sorry. It was a dumb joke. No, but how cool would that be? Isabel! Thank you ever so much. Now all that remains is for us to wait and pray for the bountiful catch. I shall have the wood whalers check traps on the morrow. They are more than happy to do so, knowing that the meat will end up in their own bellies, like as not. But if I might be permitted to speak seriously for a moment, it is not an easy time to be a frontier sentry. Fearsome beasts surround these parts, and there is the imperial threat besides. Thus I am glad I, who cannot wield a sword, may yet play my part by preparing hearty meals for those brave men and women who willingly endure hurts, that simple folk like me might enjoy peace. Okay. But yeah, that's a question though. honestly, what I want, and I've said this before, so if you've been here from like the start, you've heard me say this quite a few times, but what I want, one second. Please, you have my vow. I will wear boarskin armor no more. I will starve before I partake in the tiniest morsel of salted pork. Just make them go away. What? The swine that plagued the Brown Patch no more? Thank you, friend. To speak the truth of it, I have been plagued by a dreadful phobia of those tusked monstrosities in recent weeks. But I realize this will not do. Jocelyn's Spire overlooks a hub of trade and military activities. And to shirk my duties would be a dishonor to the hero in whose name the spire bears. You've instilled no small measure of courage in me today, friend, and for this I am grateful. You're welcome. You look to be made of sterner stuff than the average adventurer. How would you fancy doing your bit to preserve the peace? We patrol the area night and day, but a recent skirmish put a dozen of my best men in the infirmary and was sorely short-handed as a result. I'd be grateful if you could help fill in for the wounded. Now there are 3 strategic positions on our patrol route, each marked by a twin armor standard. What you need to do is go to the 3 locations in turn and hold your ground for a while. Nothing to it, see? Sure. Happily. Happy to help. So you've seen to the black bats. Oh, right. So you've seen to the black bats. We couldn't have asked for a better substitute. You have my gratitude. Now that stay, risk of seeming brazen, I would ask you a favour of my own. Might you bear a message to Florimond for me? The lad is being overly hard on himself for his absence. Tell him that his fretting avails no one. He, himself, least of all. He serves the wood whalers best by getting back on his feet with all swiftness, and that requires peace of mind. Aw, he's a good commander. Sorry. I'm thinking, let's jump into the leveling roulette, because we need the time. I'm sure it will be fine. A message from Captain Anud. Let's see. The captain speaks true, I must say. A great weight has been lifted from my shoulders. As bade, I shall focus all my energies on recovery, the sooner to resume my duties. My thanks again, friend. Ooh, got Dalamon red dye. Yeah. Oh, yeah, what I was saying before is the one thing I want from streaming, the biggest thing, the thing that would make me happiest, is to create a community where people can come and just both be safe and chill. You know what I mean? Like, where you can find like-minded people. You can just come here, relax, and know that the only person panicking will be me, because I'm trying to play tank. You know? But yeah, that's what I want. More than anything. If I ever get big enough for, like, fan art, that would be amazing. I know a streamer that currently has more followers than certain bands. And he's like, I don't understand this. Hello. I'm typing this into chat, by the way. Ooh. Okay. Right, you guys haven't seen this one. I actually don't like this dungeons. It annoys me. But what can you do? Let's go. Small pools, because this is my first dungeon. finally arrived. Well done. What you having? Know that I'm probably going to be a little bit jealous because I am currently on a diet for surgery. Dominic, oh fuck you. Meant in the kindest possible way, of course. Oh dear. Come here. Yeah, so I'm currently in a, I have my surgery on the 27th of June. So I'm currently in the important don't eat junk food. I have to follow a very specific diet. So I get jealous of what people can eat. Come here. I will answer chat in a second, by the way. I'm still not good at doing both. When I'm more confident as a tank, I think it'll be easier. Or if I'm playing healer, I guess. Anathema. Interesting. As an apology, want me to drop in some melting moments tomorrow while I'm up in Sydney so that your family can eat them in front of... No, I don't want you to do that. Why would you think that was the thing I would want you to do? You know? I am, for those who do not know, I am on what is called a VLCD, a very low calorie diet, which means I can basically have meal replacements and some free vegetables, which is fine, it's good, but yeah, it is a little bit annoying. Did I time that just right? Shit. Masochism? I'm not a masochist. I have chronic pain. I endure more suffering than I have to. Oh wait, that's me. Yes. You are friends with me, so makes sense. 8, 7, 6. Come at you. I think someone got doomed. Alright, I have this. Ah. Thank you. Let's try and pull these down. These things. That hit me! tank twist. I have tank stance on. Oh, we're skipping it? Okay, we're skipping it. For those not in the know, these are not a necessary fight. You can actually run past them, because they only open doors on the sides of this arena. And you're not required to go through those things, unless you want 100% of them. Whew! But in a leveling roulette, you will generally fight everything for the instant. It's minimal XP. You get more XP clearing the dungeon. Oh, come here, you little bitch. Because you don't technically kill them, because they can reanimate. Oh, shit. He's been involved in the door zone. Yeah, but you can clear this dungeon fast, at least in my opinion. I might be completely wrong, but the way I understand it is you can clear this dungeon faster and get more XP if you just run past them. Because then you can get into another dungeon. So the benefits of doing it are quite minimal for the flow of the dungeon. I could be wrong, however. Also, have I mentioned how much I hate playing tank? Because I'm shit at it. Interesting dungeon roulette. The tank was a full mentor, but they never made sure that they had all the ads. Thankfully the heal was good. What the fuck? I mean, if... can we just burst through this? Do I have to... Oh god. There we go. Here. Sorry, yeah. I mean, I'm not great at being a tank. But grab the ads, that is your job. That is like the one thing you are supposed to do, so that your team does not die in front of you. Why am I getting angry? I'm not angry. It's like, why? Sorry you went through it. I'm glad the healer was on point, though. What's here? better at putting that in the correct place. If you ever want to take a break from tanking, let me know. I can hop on and tank or heal for your dungeon. I appreciate that, thank you. Come here. Okay, this is gonna be tough. I missed one. Where are you? Hello, friends and mortal enemies. Hello, Bailey! Nice to see you. You are here watching me get my butt kicked as a tank, because I'm shit at tanking. But that is the purpose of these streams, to learn to tank. Perhaps an enemy. Oh, what is attacking my healer? Shit. Oh, of course, you're referring to Uruk, not me. That makes more sense. BBG, no. I want to say something, but I'm afraid it might come off as mean. But I mean it in the best possible way, but you are like Dr. Doofenshmirtz levels of evil. Wow, are you saying it makes sense for me to be an enemy? Rude, unfollow. You can threaten me with that all you like, I don't care. Alrighty. Bravo. I didn't say that. I was clearly shocked that you were the BBEG. Resume and everything. I put D&D on my resume once. Not lying. Of course I didn't say it was D&D. I said it was something like, I organize and routinely run a bi-weekly group meeting in which we brainstorm solutions to hypothetical scenarios. In other words, I play D&D every week. Oh dear. Dear. Also, don't diss Dr. Doofy is awesome. I love Dr. Doofy's plans. But you are like him. You think you are evil. But at best you are a mild inconvenience. Oh, he did it! Holy shit! Yes! I'm so evil. I misfile my taxes. Don't say that on stream, my dude. your patience, my dear. Yes. I received a player commendation. Yes. Okie dokie. So how you doing, Bailey, anyway? How goes studying? Oh, sorry, I misfiled your taxes. Much better. Okay, we want to go that way. Also, yes. Check it out, we got Slipnet, which is Odin's horse, by the way. Sorry. We never standard. Oh, that reminds me. While you're here, can I? How do I make you a mod? So, yeah, Bailey is Bailey, one of my mods. I'm just trying to figure out how to make them a mod in stream. But if I cannot figure it out now, I will simply do so at another point. Alright. By the way, if anybody new is watching and checking me out, we have a Discord. Please feel free to come check us out. Bunch of good people in there. I like most of them. Not throwing any names out for that comment. No, sir. Ah, you see, I did not. For that exact reason. Let's get some levels on my pugilist, I think. Because you're nearly able to be a monk. That would be cool. There's a hawthorn. A peace offering for the selves. Were it anyone else, I'd recommend a jar of honey. But I feared this wouldn't get you past their front doorstep, dear. No, their taste runs to the more unusual. Are you perchance familiar with milk roots? That's what we call the root of the most fiendish seedkin, the ochu. When chewed, it exudes a cloudy liquid that's said to induce curious visions in the imbiber. You'd best not catch me dead trying this stuff, but the sylphs seem to enjoy it to no end. I've not seen an ochu around the comb in some time, but I did encounter a suspicious clump of grass the other day. Were you to stimulate it somehow with some of this amber sip, for example, you might be surprised at what comes out. Good luck. I returned on PC now, so I can actually hear. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? How is study? I tried to figure out how to mod you, and it's not letting me, so I will try and figure that out after stream. Because my brain is 2 potato chips and a pancake. Curious Tussock. Interesting. Study was... yeah, food. Did you want me to not ask about study so you can forget it happened? Because I can do that. I can just babble about bullshit for the next 2 hours. I am exceedingly good at that. Also, this is one of my favorite mounts. Because look at this. You just look so put out. Like, I'm being put in timeout. The claw! No, it went alright. I have to focus on it for the next few days, but other than that, I'm doing well. Good to hear. I'm glad. I know you're gonna ace your exams. You're gonna do great. Don't worry about it. But do study. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little bit scatterbrained. Things have gone a bit wrong on my end, so I'm just trying to fix them while doing stuff. I'm also getting some very nasty messages in chat, so you guys are not seeing them, but I am. Anyway, fail or not. Good to see you back in one piece, Fred. Is there aught to report? A run-in with fell fiends, you say? That is passing odd. We have never had trouble with the local fauna on this patrol route in the past. They have their numbers are on the rise. We must keep a close eye on them. Anyway, my thanks for your help, my friend. Antelope steak. Meat eater. Boing. Fun note, you cannot die unless you're in combat from fall damage. Ah, you're back. Was my wife able to direct you to a suitable offering? Yes. Here you go. Milkroot! But of course! The sylphs quaff that cloudy stuff as quick as I do a flagon of mead. The effect's about the same as well. Any road, a gift of milkroot will have the sylphs calling you friend and sister the moment they lay eyes on it. Now, let me wrap that up for you. I'm starting to feel a bit woozy. Oh no. I've taken the liberty of wrapping your milkroot well and good. I will have a look at this, by the way, baby. This should keep it nice and fresh, not to mention spare you from that god's awful stench. Thank you. The sylphs love the stuff, but me, I'd rather bury my nose in chocobo dung. I dare say the reek even rivals the breath of the Morble to put an end to my adventuring days. But I can tell you that story another time. You've more important matters to attend to today, yes? The sylphs are an eccentric bunch, but I've shared their company enough to know they're kind at heart. They'll not shun one whose intentions are true. May your parley be a fruitful one, friend, and do stop by on your return. There's a flagon of full flower mead with your name on it if you'd regale me with your adventuring tales. And, before I forget, don't go traipsing off just yet. Ameline here would have a word with you. Travel in safety, friend, and do pass along my regards to the winged ones. 2 seconds. Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Bailey. Type it here. There we go. I think that's worked. Let me know if that has. It's funny how they say any road in the realm reborn and they completely forget about it in a later game. Yeah. Yes, you are now a... Yeah, there you go. Don't make me regret it. I trust you though. Ameline, it's good to see your knowledge of Sylphic culture has matured. I see no reason to delay your mission any further. Upon your arrival at Little Solace, seek out a young sylph by the name of Kumuxia. He has served as an intermediary between our peoples on many an occasion, and has a close ear of his tribe's elder. I see that Hawthorne has furnished you with some of that malodorous root the sylphs so adore. I have something of far greater import for you to deliver, a missive from his elder seer herself. To summarize the letter's contents in brief, it vouches for the integrity of our envoy, that would be you, and restates Gridania's desire to maintain a harmonious relationship with our long-standing friends of the forest. The war with the Ixal has taken a toll on our resources. We can ill afford to get mired in another conflict. I need not impress upon you any further the importance of this mission. May the 12 see you return with good tidings. Whew. Ah, sorry, I'm good. Like I said, a little dizzy because I I have to have a very restricted diet, so I didn't get as much sugar as I wanted. As my brain would like me to have. Lysette is troubled by something she saw. I shan't get a wink of sleep until I find out who it was. Hear my tale, adventurer. Last night, upon returning from a patrol, I caught sight of a child playing atop the roof. Fearing for the little one's safety, I called out, but the child promptly vanished. Now we haven't received word of any missing children, but if there were even a chance... Were it not for my duties here, I would be out searching now. Why do you trouble you to climb to the roof and investigate in my stead? Sure. For about 3 hours. Just double checking. Okay, cool. There we go. That's fine. I'm just getting some PMs, so I'm just like, oh, that's not the good stuff. I don't know if you can see the previous messages, Bailey, but I did delete them, so I don't know if they actually stick around or if you get a notification. But I cleared them, so if they do come through, let me know, because I'm trying to ignore it. Found this cane atop the roof, you say? It is far too small for our use. I'd wager it belongs to one of the sylphs of Little Solace, the settlement to the east. Well, I suppose that solves the mystery. It would seem that the child I saw was without a sylph, and I was so worried. At any rate, we should return the cane to its rightful owner. Please take it to a sylph named Alexia in Little Solace. She will know what to do with it. And while you are there, tell her in no uncertain terms that our people should not wander the forest at night. It's kind of their forest too, my dude. No. Where is... Initiate. There we go. Yes. Come this way. Fenrir is such a pretty map. It is, isn't it? I recently got it for my main. It took me so fucking long, dude. Don't forget to share pictures in the Discord, although it's not really a spoiler since it's a mount you can get from Gold Forcer. But do try not to post spoiler mounts if you can, please. That is to everyone, not just Rurik, of course. We got a treasure coffer! This one shall never forget walking one's kindness. Yeah, let's pop back, pick that up, and then come back out. Completed all that needs completing, have we? Then only one step remains, to collect your reward. Yeah. Such passable diligence and a general competence are exactly the qualities I admire most. Now that I am satisfied you possess the necessary level of skill, feel free to peruse the guild leaves I have available. I look forward to hearing of your future exploits. Okie dokie. Alright guys, I am starting to get a serious headache. So, what I am going to do is quickly take us to the gold saucer and pop us back onto Be Right Back, because I need to go take some medications. We'll be about 10 minutes, and I have been live for about 3 hours now, so, and for those of you who don't know, I was live from 5 p.m. today, but I, hi Skull, yeah, just 10 minutes. I'm really not feeling well, and I don't want to let that translate into stream. Yeah, so I've been I've been live for about 3 hours now. But I had some tech issues which made me restart the stream. So I will be back in like 10 minutes. And I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for being with me though, if you're not here when I get back. See you soon. there, and my friends. Let me just transition us over. And hopefully that has gone through. Oh man, someone just told me Project Diva is on PC now, and this is gonna be bad for my wallet and my free time. I don't know what Project Diva is. Would you mind explaining? I mean, I can completely empathize with being bad for wallets, though. I'm really not. Hatsune Miku game. Oh, okay. Fair enough. While we're here, I'm gonna just quickly do the cactopod. Oh, yeesh. Yeah, sorry about that. Just had to... With chronic pain, I have to be very careful of certain triggers. And I have... I can't remember the exact term for it. I have chronically low blood pressure. So when I start to feel super dizzy, it is a warning sign that I have not either had enough to eat today, or I have not had enough caffeine. And if I don't have something, I'm going to pass out in the next hour. So I have to make sure that I both go have something small and sweet, and I will specify I don't have diabetes, but something with a little bit of sugar to help get the blood pressure back up, and I need to take certain meds, so. Was originally on PS4, biggest song they ever released, etc., and it's just come to Steam. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be expensive. My condolences on your recent wallet, because it's never gonna be that full again. Oh. Let's see how much this is gonna be. It's fine. Let's go see if we won. This tune haunts my nightmares, by the way. I can hear it all the time. Oh look, they have a road sparrow! I need to get me one. Sorry, distracted. Ooh, and we have a leap of faith event. We can do that. Let's see what you've won. First number did not win. Second number did not win. Ooh, but the last number matched. Nice. Nice and shiny. So, as usual, please post numbers in the chat and I will pick them. $55 base game, $50 song pack, or $85 button. Not as bad as expected, and it's currently talloting because I'm a sucker for Vocaloid. Yeah, fair. I have a few guilty pleasure games that I do that with. Just games that I'm like, if anyone knew I played these, I would never hear the end of it. But I enjoy them, and I can't recommend them to people. But if I could, I would. Let me just double check everything is cool on this end. Okie dokie. 0, 1, 1, 7. Very good. Another number, please, people. Oh, I expect to never hear the end of it from you next time I see you. I have much better things to tease you about. Trust me, your preference for Vocaloid, not one of them. But I know about your secret obsession with Guild Wars 2s and KFC dating sims. Why? Why would you think that? I mean, I did like Guild Wars 2, but it didn't capture me, and I had a lot of toxic players that I encountered, so it kind of lost its appeal for me. KFC dating, I never actually tried that, but it was something apparently. 1951. One more number, please, chat. Those were two types of dating sims, not Guild Wars 2 itself. Was there a Guild Wars 2 dating sim? Not gonna lie, I'd play it. Because that'd be funny. Yeah, no. I like a good dating sim though. They're fun. Fan-made, yes, and I will find it for you. Thank you, that would be fucking hilarious. Yeah, no, Unlike the dating sim games, I don't take them seriously, but they're fun. I think it's the completionist in me, because it's very easy to complete a dating sim. 8765. Thank you. I was gonna give it a few more seconds and then I was gonna just. Oh, no, go back. 8765. There we go. I was gonna give it a few more seconds and I was just gonna do random. So come back next week, see if we win. Let's go do the leap of faith. Boing! Ooh, that was our ankles. Also, I have to show you guys one of the best strategies for a game in this thing. Lord of Verminion. I have to go pick up the minion for it, but it's very easy. And you can get a bunch of money each week doing it. And so if I do it on stream, I can do it off stream and farm it up for you. Don't expect me to be any good at this, by the way. I suck at these games. Sucked at them in Guild Wars, and I suck at them now. Ooh, Postmaster. Okay, we're gonna go that way. Let them get ahead of me. Whoosh. All power to her, but I would not be running around in that outfit. Very cold and we are very high up. Just making sure. Bye! You think I can make this? Yes, I can! And Guild Wars 2 has much better jump mechanics in my opinion. This one is so much more difficult. Yeah. Although there were some parts of Guild Wars 2 that were really good and really annoying at the same time. No. Okay. That wasn't bad. Where's it dropped me? Oh, it's dropped me all the way back here. Of course it has. Boing. Did I just bypass it? Nice. Okay. Let's try and get the gold, shall we? Also, what I have found, the angle of your camera does help. Oh shit. Unless you do that like an idiot. Oh dear. Oh dear. I found a skip and I failed it. Also, angles in this game are your friend. Just letting you know. Play it safe, brain. Don't embarrass yourself again on stream. Why aren't you just a Vera? They have cooler heels. Boing! Now for this shit again. You know what, chat? I didn't fuck up. I was just doing this. No, I wasn't. So as I'm refreshing for the others, Final Fantasy have 2 types of jumps. Jumps from a stop or jumps from a running start, and that's it. Jumps from a stop are short, jumps from a run are long. Oh dear. And sometimes you get jumps like that. I have found that different classes, this may be an entirely like a word I'm looking for? Biased opinion, but I think some classes have a further jump than others. Like Ninja, I think it moves further than other classes, but just by a minuscule amount. Yeah, there we go. There we are, baby! Oh, there's a silver one right there. Nah, fuck it. I don't want that badly. Thank you! Has a trait for speed when knives around. Yeah, that's what I think. Like, I think it does impact the length of the jump. I could be completely wrong, however. That would not be the first time. Also, I know it is causing some people some pain seeing my inventory like this. There is a reason. Well, there's a lot of crap in it. But I will be fixing that up after stream. Let us go quickly to Limza no Menza, because I want to go pick up that minion so I can show you. And it is the dumbest technique. It is not my own, but it will get you through 95% of the Lord of the Minions stages. The Mandragora mint. Gora. Minion. Is it the Mandragora? No? What is it? Hold on. Come on, brain. Work with me here. Is it the Mandragora? 1 second, I'm just double checking. Because I'm certain it is. But I'm also, like, easily messed up. My brain doesn't always work. Lord of the Minion. Give me the thing. No, don't give me that. Where is it? Minions. Where is it? Kidragora. That's what it is. That's what I'm getting fucked up on. Best 10 skill you will ever spent. Not gonna lie. Because what we're going to do, once I bring up everything again, is we're going to pop back to the Golden Saucer. I mean, obviously there are going to be stages it can't run, and if you're playing with other players, it's going to be a bitch. However, let me just quickly set it up. For minion, edit hotbar. So, I always stick you there, you. These are some special ones that I got from the collector's editions, so don't worry about them. We're going to pop up and place them. My go-to for Vermilion is Lords of Hildebrandt. That's a good one. But yeah, the Kidragora strategy is really easy. Yeah, I know how to play, thank you. Stage 1 tutorial. I mean, Hildebrandt is a really good one for later as well. And there are a couple that I need to pick up from the achievements guide. Welcome to the tutorial for Lord of the Minion. In this one-on-one battle, each player builds an army of minions in an attempt to shatter their opponent's Arcana Stones. Victory is achieved when all of an opponent's Arcana Stones have been destroyed. Okay, I might not be able to do it here. The briefing period has begun. This is a short pre-battle phase, within which you can prepare your initial forces. The minions you select during the briefing will be placed into your summoning queue and summoned to the field when the battle commences. First, let's try selecting a minion from your hotbar. 3. You have successfully selected a minion. It will now be placed in your summoning queue. I know, each minion has a summoning cost, which ranges from 10 to 30 points. As long as the total cost does not exceed the capacity of your summoning board, you may summon the same unit multiple times, or select any combination of minions you wish for those you have available. During the briefing period, your summoning gauge is capped at 60 points. You must be quick with your decisions, however, as this preparation phase has a time limit of 20 seconds. Familiarize yourself with the costs and abilities of your minions before a match so that you may quickly select the ideal starting lineup. The view of the field is controlled by the camera. Try using the movement keys to shift your viewpoint around. The battle has begun. All the minions placed in your summoning queue during the briefing period will now appear on the field. You can now give orders to these summoned minions and commence your assault on your opponent's Arcana Stones. Note that your summoning capacity has been expanded to 240 points. The gauge displaying your current summoning hotbar and maximum capacity can be found on the minion hotbar. Thank you. Summoned minions will enter the field from your currently selected gate. The middle of the 3 gates is Gate B, selected by default. Left click on A, found on the hotbar display, and try summoning a minion from Gate A. Damn it. Oh, I missed that one. Once the battle is underway, summoning minions in quick succession will incur a penalty in the form of a recast timer. The length of this recast timer is determined by the cost of the previously summoned unit. While the recast timer is in effect, subsequent attempts to summon will place the selected minions into the summoning queue. Try summoning several minions and see this feature for yourself. Your summoning queue is now filled with ready minions. A minion will spawn each time the recast timer resets, in the order in which it was selected. Go away, tutorial Shan, you don't know how to play, yeah. Minions Smash Bros. When doing my weekly ones, I did the Big Bad Boss single player mode and used 8 Hildies to overwhelm. Minion MOBA? A maximum of 10 minions can be placed into the summoning queue. Keep an eye on your summoning gauge and the demands of the battlefield to make the best use of this feature. Can I play now? Oh god. For the next part of this tutorial, a wayward hatchling has volunteered its services to help demonstrate minion movement. To move a minion, you must first select the unit, then select the unit's intended destination. Left click on the minion to select it. With the menu selected, right click on the desired destination to send a unit to that location. Now try selecting the wayward. Tutorials will continue until morale improves. Your obedient wayward hatchling has marched to the yellow circle. Now let's try selecting multiple minions and moving them as a group. Left click and drag the cursor to create a selection square. Upon releasing the left mouse button, all minions inside the square will be selected. Try selecting all the wayward hatchlings in the field, then move them to the yellow circle. Don't worry, you do not have to do this every time. It's just every time you replay the tutorial stage. Oh boy! Look out! Your opponent's minions have appeared on the field. To triumph in Lord of the Minion, you must engage and defeat enemy units as the situation demands. Your minions will automatically initiate attacks against any nearby units and will continue fighting until the enemy moves out of auto attack range. Select the wayward hatchlings once more and send them against your foes. Yeah, go. Oh, I forgot about this. There's nothing I can do, I just have to wait for them to be done. It seems one of your opponents has taken advantage of the confusion to launch an assault upon one of your Arcana Stones. Should an Arcana Stone be surrounded by nothing but enemy minions, the structure will begin taking damage and ultimately be destroyed. You will lose the battle once all 3 of your Arcana Stones have been shattered, so be ready to deploy your minions in defense of these key positions. Move the wayward hatchlings into the center of the field and defeat the minions that threaten Arcana Stone B. I know! Worst part is, if I was playing on my own, I would skip through this. But, if people are watching, I would actually like them to be able to hear something. Not just me blathering. I mean, that's... Your opponent has unleashed a pair of baby behemoths! There are 4 types of minions, and 3 of these, monster, critter, and puppet, will fight at either an advantage or a disadvantage depending on the nature of their opponent. Minion types affinities are as follows. Monsters are strong against critters, critters are strong against puppets, puppets are strong against monsters. The final type, gadgets, are neither strong nor weak against any type. Remembering these affinities may make the difference between jubilant victory and crushing defeat. Baby behemoths are a monster type minion, and thus strong against your quartet of critter-type hatchlings. To make matters worse, the behemoths execute area attacks, as opposed to your hatchling's single target attacks, which are capable of inflicting damage against all nearby units simultaneously. My god, brain, work with me here. You still have the advantage of numbers, however, giving your minions a better chance to prevail against their otherwise superior enemies. Send your hatchlings against the behemoths and dispatch the monsters in a valiant flurry of feathers. Send them to die is what I'm hearing. All the shit I give this part. It's actually really fun, not gonna lie. Each minion is capable of executing a special action, which when used to good effect, can help turn the tide of battle. To execute a special action, you must first group together 4 minions of the exact same variety into what is known as an action party. Each member of the party must also have the maximum number of action points, a resource that accumulates over time. Select the individual minion with which you wish to execute the action, then click the Execute Action button on the mini hotbar. Try this now by selecting one of the wayward hatchlings and performing a special action on Baby Behemoth. Execute action. Okay, I didn't realize you needed 4 minions to do an action. That's useful enough. Yeah, it is. Your hatchling's special action has allowed them to triumph over a foe who would otherwise prove a near impossible challenge. You will notice, however, that the rigors of battle have taken their toll on the hatchling's HP. To restore a minion's HP, simply send a unit back to one of your gate areas. Select your wayward hatchlings and return them to a gate to lick their wounds. Oh, I have to actually bring them all the way into the gate. Fair enough. The hatchlings have arrived at your gate. Gates function as a form of sanctuary. While within these areas, your minions will recover HP and are safe from the attacks of enemy units. Conversely, minions inside the gate area are also unable to launch attacks of their own, so you must weigh the temporary loss of offensive strength against the benefits of refreshing your weary troops. In addition to the sanctuary they provide, gates have another useful function: teleportation. Minions inside a gate area can be transported to another gate entirely. Select your wayward hatchlings once more, then try sending them to another one of your gates. Your minions have been teleported to select a gate. Using this function can allow you to quickly send minions from one side of the field to the other and assault lightly defended enemy structures from the nearest gate. The time has come to lay waste to your opponent's Arcana Stones. Select the hatchling action party and move them into the enemy's Arcana Stone B in the center of the field. Yeah, cool. Come back here. Go. Don't worry, it's nearly done. It's going to teach me about the shields, and it's going to teach me about something else. Oh, the search eye. The hatchlings have begun attacking Arcana Stone B. Your minions will inflict damage from an opponent's Arcana Stone when no enemy units are present inside the red circles surrounding the structure. Oh golly. Also, I didn't know about the teleportation, but it doesn't feel all that important except to go from left to right. But even then, if you aren't near your base at the time, just quickly just walk this way. Yeah, that is. The condition of each Arcana stone is displayed by the crystal-like icons found at the top of the screen. As a crystal takes damage, the corresponding icon will gradually be chipped away. The total remaining HP of both yours and your opponent's Arcana stones is also displayed at the top of the screen in the form of HP bars, allowing you to assess the progress of the battle at a glance. Continue your assault on the enemy Arcana stone. Gosh, my brain is starting to fry. We've been here for 10 minutes! Each variety of minion is attributed with certain strengths, unrelated to their type affinity. These strengths allow a minion to be particularly effective against certain structures. For example, the Mammoth 001 is naturally strong against Arcana stones, allowing it to inflict greater damage to those structures. Watch how much more quickly the HP of the Arcana stone is depleted when the Mammoths join the fray. I know. Let me play. The shield provides additional defense to the Arcana stones. Destroy this structure and your opponent's crystals will become even easier to shatter. Oh god, this is what... The enemy's shield can be attacked by positioning your minions in the red square in front of the structure. I'm not doing mahjong on this stream, are you kidding me? Basically, the bombs are really good against the shield. Your opponent's shield has been destroyed. Enemy Arcana stones will now fall far more quickly to your attacks. Be sure to take swift advantage of a deactivated shield. All structures except for Arcana stones will regenerate after sufficient time has passed, enabling them to once more apply their effects to the battlefield. Should you allow the enemy shield to reactivate, for example, it will restore the defensive properties to your opponent's Arcana stones, decreasing the amount of damage your minions can inflict to the crystals. Continue your attacks on the Arcana Stone B and shatter the crystal completely. Everybody in there, come on. Yeah, no, I'm not doing mahjong on stream. Not in this stream anyway. Jesus Christ, I would die. I know! I'm working on it! Arcana Stone B has been shattered. This is an example of how different strategies can aid you more efficiently to destroy an Arcana Stone. Shatter all of your opponent's Arcana Stones and victory will be yours. In addition to shields, there are special other structures that you can encounter on the field. For more detailed information, check the relevant active help windows or read the play guide provided at the Lord of the Minion tables. This tutorial is now concluded. Thank God. Learn well your minion's strengths and weaknesses and conquer all before you. Oh dear. I didn't remember that it had a long ass tutorial. Get rid of that. Good golly. It's alright, the next one shouldn't be hard. Yeah, I know. Done that. Thank you. The minion challenge. Hatching a plan. Yeesh. Well. I will admit it's really cute. So what I do, again, not my own strategy, but you summon 4 Kidragoras at the gate B during the setup time. You then summon 4 at A and C and send them to attack the Arcana stones, and that is literally all you have to do for these stages. So A, 1, 2, 3, 4, and C, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can just sit and talk, because I won't have to do anything. Do wait for them all to summon, however. Oh, I did 5. Why did I do 5? What was I thinking? Oh well. Normally you do 4 because it's just easier. And if you're worried about your stones, you can get a couple of wolf pups at each one and send them to the thing, but it's not really that necessary. Oh. Now you full. And we've already nearly won. Look at the difference between our wins. And this works on pretty much everything. That was my bad. That was stupid. But yeah. That's done. So we're going to send it over to Arcana Stone C. It's quicker. Hey! Look at this little bitch of a mammoth. Come here. Come here! Where the fuck do you think you're going? There we go. Done. Nice and simple. But the Verminion challenge is a really good way to get MGP, by the way. Just so you know, because of the challenge log, you get a lot for it. I will not make you sit through another one though. Don't worry. I'm not that cruel. What was I gonna do? Okay. Nah. Let's see. No, let's do Pugilist. Let's go do the Pugilist quest. Yeah, let's do that. That'll be fun. I can run now. Oh dear. What are my seals at? Ooh, I should be able to level up actually. If not now, after the next thing. Haman. Haman appears to be in higher spirits. Ha! Swear. Each time I see you, you remind me more and more of my younger self. At this rate, you'll like to transform into a handsome devil before the moon's over. Now then, I believe you're here to learn. Unfortunately, I'm in no condition to teach. This is rather embarrassing to admit, but in my eagerness to prepare for the big rematch, I've overtrained and thrown my back out. I tell you, old age is hell's. I fear Tutu will have to tend to you in my stead. Come on, lovely. It seems the prospect of facing his old rival has lit a veritable fire under Master Haman's backside. I'm so relieved to see he has a purpose again. The trick now is to keep a lid on his zeal, lest he injure himself. But let us speak of your lesson. When you are ready, come and meet me at Little Alameda. I have a challenge in mind that you are certain to find stimulating. New tell indeed. Okay, so my goal for the rest of stream, for the next hour, 20 minutes or so, is to get the monk class unlocked, if possible. That is my plan. I've been waiting for you, Lilith. Today your training will be to prepare for Master Haman's training. What? I brought with me a set of striking dummies, and I want you to deploy them at certain locations. Lest you think this task to be drudgery, the locations are rife with peril. Your skills will most certainly be put to the test. By way of advice, if you must approach dangerous fiends, lightness of foot is your greatest ally. Off with you now, Lilith. Go set up those striking dummies. I shall await your return. Why? Why would they do this to me? I am not... who am I kidding? I'm a fucking errand girl and I know it. Let's try... I don't think I'll get into the dungeon while I'm doing this. I will drop out before we do cutscenes and stuff, because knowing my luck. This destination is rife with peril, is it? Oh dear, oh dear. But yeah, I hope everybody's well. I hope you're all having fun. I hope my connection hasn't suddenly just dropped and I am now talking to nobody again. Where is it? There you are. I'm still here. Lovely to see you, and glad that I'm still broadcasting. Not gonna lie. Oof. They're kind of strong. Oh hell, fine. Let's get some help, shall we? I'm still here playing a rhythm minigame and failing. Oh, that's... Have fun with that. I might die. This is a boss. What am I doing? Focus on somebody. Damn it. Yes. Oh, I died. Why did I die? That seems unfair. Fine, fine. Let's go. No. There we go. Right now, on this strange beast. Ride a little bit faster, please. Ooh. I got me some things to kill. Again, it's got the little marker, so I know it's part of my hunting log. Whether it's my main one, or if it's a another one, I'm not entirely sure. Ah, it's a maelstrom. Fair enough. I can clear the minigame easy, but I'm trying to perfect combo it, which is not going well. There. What game are you playing? Is it the Hatsune Miku? Has that finished downloading already? That's kind of impressive. There we go. Honestly, 9 minutes for a DPS queue is quite impressive. Not gonna lie. I don't want to be in there. I want to. Fine, let's punch the rocks. Jesus. Genshin Impact. Oh, fair enough. played Genshin in a while. I keep meaning to. And then I just don't have the energy for it. Like, I can do, like, one grindy game at a time. I can't do multiple. And for me, right now, it's, Final Fantasy. I get absolutely nothing for perfect comboing it, or even just full comboing it, but I'm going for it anyway. Fair, fair. I'm going to 100% Final Fantasy. I cannot judge anybody else for their, decisions. Hey, where's the entrance? What is this bullshittery? Am I just blind? Must be up. Which means the other entrance is in here. God damn it. Fine. Must be up there, yeah. I really like the Chocobo music, not gonna lie. Also, I know I could fight them. I don't care. Tick. I might die. There we go. Let's quickly pop back to Little Alamigo. Oh, looks like we get to have a fight. Do you have trinkets set to take it? I don't. I don't think I've leveled them up at all. Gonna give you Choco Regen. I don't really need you as a tank. You don't generate enough thing for it. I'm going healer. It'll keep me alive. There we go. Oh, fine. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking 5 hours is not a good idea to start with. Like, I like it. I really want to keep doing it. But I'm also, like, really ill. If I don't get it by 10 minutes, I'll drop the queue and jump into the thing, so don't worry. You actually found it. I'm impressed. I just had to quickly check Discord. Let me in. I want to do things. Alright. Clear selection. Lego. Miku is almost finished downloading, actually. 2 minutes left. God damn. Your internet likes you more than mine likes me. Excellent work, Lilith. All that's left is to have Master Heyman come and train. Ah, the little dramatic bitch himself. What are you doing here? That adventurer is a negative influence on Master Heyman. I'm going to see to it that she never bothers him again. What are you talking about? Lila's the best thing that's happened to the Master in years. If you want a piece of her, you'll have to deal with me, too. Oh god, they're level 40. Aw, she's fighting to keep me safe. That's really sweet. Interesting that this is the second mention of the Allocrat. Because if you remember, it was mentioned in the Paladin, the Gladiator quest. I need to be closer to her so that she will heal me. There we go. Grr, you leave me no choice. Bastet, eh? Well. Kind of bad I'm beating up a cat. I mean, it is trying to kill me, but still. That is not me, by the way, that is Chichika. There we go. Excellent. Why, Rurukata? Why are you so bent on bringing down Master Heyman and seeing the guild in ruins? You have it all wrong. I'm doing this for Master's own sake. It's true. I left the guild for shock of seeing Master in that pathetic state, and it's true I got involved with some unsavory types. But where else was I supposed to go? Me, a refugee without a guild to his name. But for all the ungrateful things I've done, I've never forgotten how Master Heyman took me in and instructed me in the ways of the fist. This is why I want him to give up his foolish notion of facing Wegfar. You don't know that man like I do, Chichoto. Should this fight come to pass, I fear Master won't walk away with his life. It doesn't matter that Master has grown weak and feeble, I just want him to live, even if it means having him swallow his pride. Oh, Rurukata, why didn't you just say so? But now that I know your mind, I can say with confidence you have no cause to fear. Lilith is not the plague that you think she is. It's her will to succeed that's inspiring Master to regain his former strength. And when the day of the rematch finally comes, I have no doubt he will wallop that odious Wegfar to the seventh hell and back. I pray you're right. But whatever happens, know that I cannot help you, not where I am. Chichuto, Lilith, I leave Master Heyman in your care. God, that felt liberating. Trading blows with Rurukata and learning his true agenda. A great burden has been lifted off my chest. Let us return to the guild, Lilith. You've had your training, and now it's time for Master Heyman's. Yeah, let him suffer. Shut up. Sorry. Welcome back, love. I've told you kindly set up some dummies for me. But gods, women, did you have to put them in such dangerous places? To make matters worse, Chichito has hidden my grog and says I won't see a drop of it till I finish training. How the hell am I supposed to loosen my phlegm now? Ew. That girl will make a fine guild master when it comes. I've heard about Ririkata as well. For all his shortcomings, the boy has a good heart. But while his concern is touching, I won't run from Wegfar. Not today, not ever. On that note, I'd best get ready for my little jaunt a l'amigo. If I can't face down a few mindless beasts, I'm in no shape to challenge Wegfar. Don't slack off, love, or I'll leave you in my dusty wig. You're welcome. Yeah. If I could get into a dungeon, that'd be good, but I can't. Yes, time is against me. Let's go see if I can get, let's see if I can upgrade and trade in some stuff. Yeah, alright, I might do this and then I might call it. Just because I'm clearly not well. And I'm actually developing a weird shake that is freaking me out a little bit. I know what it is, it's just exhaustion. But I don't want to be streaming like this. Oh right, I need to ask about the promotion. Apply for a promotion. Oh, I can. In the name of the Admiral, I hereby appoint you to the rank of Storm Corporal. May you ever serve the best interests of Limsa Liminsa till sea swallows all. Sweet. Can I give in my shit yet? No! To qualify... Oh, I need to do the rank 1. Ugh. Alright, lovelies. This is where I'm going to call it, I'm afraid. I am exhausted. My brain hurts. Let's see. I wonder how Fiamma is doing. So, I know I've raided Fiamma before. I've raided her a few times, but she's actually doing her bit extravaganza this week. So, I think she's... Yeah, let's go send her some love, yeah? So let me switch over to the correct screen. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and I send you all the love in the world. I'm sorry that I'm kind of exhausted, but know that I had a lot of fun. So yeah, much love, look after each other, and please, I will see you next week, yeah. Have a good rest, Sparrow. Thank you, and thank you for streaming. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Much love, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.